tie or whatever it was, right? And it doesn't matter. All I remember was Kirk Gibson hit a home run, and he was injured, and he went up to bat, and he was injured, and he hit a home run, and he's pretty much limping around the bases, and he gets going from second base to third base, and when he's go over there, and he goes, he was so happy, and I was like, yes.
Okay.
Oh, you know, we've got to do an intro.
How did she get on your lap?
I picked her up.
No, like on your lap. Did she
just
crawled
moved,
over?
Yeah,
she just slowly meandered over.
I know. She's like looking at you too. She's gonna like find her way over to your lap.
Hi, Dad. Hi.
Yes.
How are you doing? There was something I sent you in a text.
Somebody in Canada shared that, right?
Yeah, it's a picture. It says the Gulf of second place hockey teams.
So did you watch the hockey game it was like last night, wasn't it? Or 2 nights ago, something like that? There was a hockey game.
Yeah.
And I only saw pictures. I saw there was a brawl. Did you end up watching it?
No, I didn't watch. I don't follow hockey. I know that we play hockey.
I've seen.
I know. I like to watch live
sports.
Yeah.
That's like okay. So like whenever it comes to watching,
I enjoy watching live sports of any type. The athleticism and
the energy,
the capabilities. You know, I like that.
Yeah, I can't really watch like sports on TV unless it's like the Olympics maybe. I don't know because you get like the highlight reels, right?
Yeah. I mean, exactly, right? So when the Olympics are on, no one's sitting and watching 15 rounds of shot put.
Right.
You know, all we see are like the last 2 or 3 throws. So I love sports. I just don't want to sit around through all the boring stuff to get to the good stuff.
Well, okay, so even so sometimes we'll go, I know, right? So sometimes we go to like the local, like we have a local minor league team.
Yeah.
And we'll go there now to watch them. And I know like the only time we'll go to watch is whenever we get the box seats, like in the what is that called? Like the clubhouse?
Yep.
Where they have the club seating, where they have like a buffet. It's really shit buffet, but you know, it's free food and drinks, and you get like cracker jacks.
With the ticket. So
with the ticket. And you have like...
It's like comparable to buying food in the park and buying a regular seat.
Yeah, and then you also you don't have to sit in the sun. You can go into the air conditioning, or if the weather starts raining, you can get out of the rain, right? So it's nice to be able to go inside and watch and get like at least drinks, right? That's my main thing, or you know, because they don't have like the big fat pretzels that I like. I have to go out. So they offer like all kinds of like food, and I swear I'm pretty sure they just go to like Costco and get the trays of food of like frozen, like not even like Costco made food, but like, you know, they'll go and get like some cheap ass chicken nuggets from Costco, or their fries or their fish out of their frozen food, you know, and that's what they cook. So it's not like, I mean, and Costco can have some quality food, but the food that they offer is not quality, not necessarily quality.
They're not buying the high quality.
No, they're not buying the high quality food, you know. But I'm pretty sure that's where they get it. But I want to go there and get a big fat soft pretzel.
Yeah, we enjoy those kinds of games. It's a smaller atmosphere, but also
still live sports, right?
Yeah, live sports.
But I really don't follow baseball since I was in like 8th grade.
Yeah.
And Kirk Gibson and the Dodgers won the World Series, and Kirk Gibson was like all injured, and he made a home run. And he's walking around. He's going around. He's like, yeah. That was the last.
I don't know what she's talking about.
It was way back in the 80s. Probably what, 87, 86? The Dodgers won the World Series.
Okay.
And Kirk Gibson at the time, like he was this moody bastard, but like I loved watching him play. And he, it was like the final game.
Okay.
And it was, and they were, I want to say they were down, or they were tie, or whatever it was, right? And it doesn't matter. All I remember was Kirk Gibson hit a home run, and he was injured, and he went up to bat, and he was injured, and he hit a home run. And he's pretty much limping around the bases. Yeah. And he gets going from second base to third base. And when he's go over there, and he goes, he was so happy. And I was like, yes!
Okay, so I remember that imagery, but probably not from 1987, but probably because it's been like woven into so many different TV shows and movies and, you know, press junkets and what have you. And right about now, all I can think to myself is, please, Lord, let Kirk Gibson have turned out to be a good person, and we don't have to cut this whole segment.
I don't know what he's doing. Let me Google that. What's Kirk Gibson doing nowadays?
Oh, my goodness.
Kirk Gibson, American baseball player and man, let's see. He is currently color commentator for Detroit Tigers on Bally Sports Detroit, and a special assistant for the Tigers.
Okay, so he works for the Tigers.
Okay.
Very cool.
Okay, so he was with the Dodgers from 88 to 90.
Oh, so it must have been the 88 game?
Let's see. With the Dodgers in 1988, Gibson faced closer Dennis Eckersley in the ninth inning of the first game and hit a pinch hit walk-off home run, often described as one of the most exciting moments in World Series history. And I watched it live. Not in person, though.
Not on pay-per-view.
No. You know,
because back then, all that stuff just came across the TV airways for free.
Yeah. So anyways, so that's...
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
So, Jody, let me ask you, what exactly were you doing in 1988?
I was just a young lass.
A young lass. Okay. Good to go. Just wondering.
You know, I considering
Did you
what?
Watched it from...
Probably at my grandparents' house.
Probably at your grandparents' house.
Actually, I know I watched it at my grandparents' house.
Yeah. Sitting on the floor.
Sitting on the floor, absolutely. Actually, probably laying on the floor with, you know, and them and their recliners behind me. And they had this big old television. It was like because like the televisions nowadays are like, they might be wide, but they're not big. But they had one of those console televisions. It's like
huge.
It was huge. Like the box was huge. The screen wasn't. But they had. That's what we would watch. Like if we wanted to go, and I think they had cable. We didn't have cable. So if you wanted to watch anything on cable, you went over to Grandma and Grandpa's house. They lived next door, so it wasn't like we had to go far. But they lived next door, so we'd go over to Grandma and Grandpa's house to watch anything, and and they like watching sports, so more than likely I was over there. And like our TV at our house was like
what?
No, by 88 I think we had color. I mean, you know,
I think we got our first color TV
no,
in
I'm pretty
84, 83.
I'm pretty sure we had color then, because by then we had our ColecoVision. We didn't have Atari, we had ColecoVision. We had our ColecoVision. Oh yeah, man. I love playing Smurfs. Anyways, we had our ColecoVision, and I remember playing that in color. So we had a color TV at that time.
Cool beans.
But it's still a small little screen.
Yeah. I think we got a console TV around 1980-ish.
Oh yeah, see,
I don't know how big it was, but I remember it weighed a freaking ton.
Yeah.
And it went multiple moves. Like it was, like you move one of these flat panel giant TVs today, you're almost half your transportation that it gets moved across the country, it's going to end up getting broken. You know, something bad's going to happen to it. But with those big old TVs, it was like sending a brick.
Yeah,
As long as you protected the glass in the front, it's almost like they were indestructible.
I wonder, like, okay, so we didn't have a console TV. My grandparents did. And
Yeah.
I don't remember when they went from, like, not a console TV to a console TV. And I'm pretty sure, like, until the day my grandma died, she still had the console TV, but she probably put a brand new TV on top of the console because the console was too damn big to move. But I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of, because you walk in the front door, and immediately, well, not immediately on the right, immediately on the right, you might find a bat, a stick, a rifle, any number of things that Ethel could pick up and beat you or shoot you with.
And a butter churn.
And a butter churn, right? And then, I don't remember if there was it wasn't a doll case or a thin case.
You know what? She did get rid of the console. She did put a doll case. It was a glass case that they got from a store closing. It was like a display case.
Yeah, a display case, and on top of it was a square TV, square-ish.
Yeah, I mean, because it was we still at that point they weren't thin.
Oh, and on the walls were just tons of photos that were all tinned out, like they were, like the tin was going on them.
Yeah.
Silver.
Yeah.
Tin? Silver.
So we don't have those photos anymore.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what had happened, oh gosh. So my cousin moved into my grandparents' house when my grandmother was still alive. And when my grandmother passed, her house went to my two younger cousins, who she, like between us and her, we raised them. And their dad was living there whenever she passed. And because he had just got out of a rehab program, because he went to jail and had to go to a rehab program. And then after the rehab program, he was only allowed to live with like his grandmother. That was part of the condition on his release. So he went to live with her, and then my uncle, who's really not my uncle, but he was my uncle's friend from high school, who was kind of like an uncle. He's a dick. Anyways, he was the executor of her will, and we knew that this stuff was going, like the house that was going to be sold was going to my two younger cousins, or my cousin's kids, but my two younger cousins. And so when Jim ended up living in the house, and we had moved away because you were in the military, you're active duty, so we had to move away. And he packed everything up and put it into a storage unit. And my uncle would not let us take our pictures. So my grandma kept all of our pictures for us. And so there was she had these boxes of all of our pictures growing up. And my uncle said I could not remove them from the house because they were part of the house. I could purchase my pictures, but he didn't give me a price. And I basically was like, fuck you, because they're my pictures, but I could not take the pictures. So Jim ended up boxing up everything and putting them into the storage unit, and then didn't tell anybody that he didn't pay for the storage unit. And then the storage unit was sold, and we found out years later that everything was gone.
Yeah. Storage wars.
Storage wars, yeah. So sometimes while you're watching the Storage Wars and thinking, oh, those motherfuckers should have paid their bill, just think that sometimes people whose stuff it is really doesn't know what happened to their things.
Yeah.
And I'm sure because it's pictures, there's no value of it. They just throw them away.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I don't have any pictures of my childhood.
Oh, okay. And that's the shit in the middle.
Yeah, that was the shit in the middle. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, that was heavy. Okay, so let's talk about this photo. Oh, so let's talk about this photo.
Yeah, so bringing it back around.
Bringing it back around.
We don't watch sports, but apparently
there was a hockey game.
There was a hockey game against the United States and Canada, and the United States lost. And I hate to see our American people lose, but it's somehow difficult to not feel good about a country or a nation and a peoples who's been getting bullied to hold one over the person who's bullying them.
And it has a photo of the Gulf of second place hockey teams.
Yeah. The Gulf of second place hockey teams.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's still the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, depending on who you're talking to.
Oh, yeah. Depending on who you talk to.
Gulf of second place hockey teams.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. This is the part of the video where I tell you to like, subscribe, and follow along to Possibly Pickled.